both sides of the political aisle are pouring in for the California Senator Dianne Feinstein. She passed away last night at the age of 90. A trailblazer, a political pioneer. She dedicated her life to serving and improving the lives of others. The senator broke barriers for women in the United States Senate. She was the first woman to chair multiple committees, the Rules Committee, the Intelligence Committee, and she was the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee. Feinstein fought for gun control, even spearheading the assault weapons ban back in 1994.
So the gentlelady from California needs to become a little more familiar with firearms and their deadly characteristics. And I say that because it is
a personal privilege for a moment, please.
Yes, certainly.
I am quite familiar with firearms. I became mayor as a product of assassination.
I'm aware of that.
I found my assassinated colleague and put a finger through a bullet hole.
Feinstein's death transcending politics. For example, here was the top Republican today in Washington.
At the end of the day, the trailblazing of the first woman elected mayor, even coming from a different party, inspired women from both sides of the aisle to seek elected office and to have their voices heard.
Joining us now is Johanna Maska, former Obama administration official and NewsNation contributor. As you can see there, she joins us from her home state of California. Johanna, good to have you on this Friday. Sorry, it's to talk about this. I'm just, wondering your initial thoughts when you heard the news this morning as a Democrat in politics from your home state.
She follows a lot of men having died in office. I know there were a lot of calls for her to retire toward the end of her life, but I think it is important to remember that when she entered the Senate in 1992, there were 3 women. 2 of them were elected and 1 was appointed in the Senate, and she leaves the Senate that has 25 women. So it's changed significantly over the course of time, and it's good that we see so much of this rolling in. I mean, Eleni Kounalakis, lieutenant governor, has made mention of working on that 1992 race. And, it was pivotal for her because at that time she was the first female senator from the state of California. There has not been still a female governor in the state of California. And Eleni, of course, is going to try for that position. But, the other side of this is now that because it has been a death in office and Gavin Newsom is in charge of appointing her replacement, this puts him in a really sticky situation.
Yeah, he was talking about this. Yeah, he was talking about this just recently, a couple weeks ago, Johanna, as you know, and he basically said he didn't want to have to make a decision to replace her if she were to resign. Obviously now she has passed, and he has to make that decision. He's got no choice, and he probably has to do it soon with basically a divided Senate. What are you hearing, or what do you think happens on that front?
I'm hearing a lot of people with Barbara Lee are picking up the phone and trying to influence this. Look, when he appointed the last senator in the position when Kamala Harris left that position, it was Alex Padilla, who was a friend of his, who was the first Latino senator, and of course Alex Padilla ran for that seat again. So the notion of him appointing a caretaker in this position has really rung hollow with a lot of people who believe that he should make a decision on this and appoint a successor. Barbara Lee is in the race, so is Adam Schiff, so is Katie Porter. There are a lot of people who have, a lot of enthusiasm for each one of them, but he said he's going to appoint a black woman. Barbara Lee is a black woman, and she's certainly seeking that appointment.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.